Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. So today we would be continuing with where we left with Swift. Today we will be starting with operators. No operators. Operators are those little symbols that you learn in the very first math class: plus to add, minus to subtract, start to multiply, slash to divide, equal to assign value, and so on. They all exist in Swift along with a few extras. So let's try a few basics. Now let's um Okay, so first, so for people who want to know how to open the playground, go on File, New, and then click on Playground. So then this box will automatically open up for you. Okay, now let's do where equal to 10, and then now I'm going to do is a plus 1 is a minus 1 is a into a. And so let's run and see what do I get. Okay, so first initially it was 10, then it became 11, then again 10, then became 100. Now in the results panel you will see 10, 11 and respected. Not try this. Okay, so there is another way of doing the same thing where this is like the shortcut method. You can do b plus sequence equals 10, b minus sequence 10, and then b. Oh, there is an operator for multiplication as well. So now the operator preset. Let's check whether we get the same answer. Okay, so now what here is happening is it's the same thing, right? It first does the add, do the add, and then assign. Similarly, this is do the subtract and then assign. Now some of these operators may apply to the data types. As you might imagine, you can add to decimals like okay. When it comes to string, the string, when I'm doing a string, it will do string concatenation. For example, string 1 is, and then when I do where, now if I do string 1 plus string where both, remember here I'm not mentioning the type, it is going to be, since I'm initializing it, so it is string 1 plus, so this will do string concatenation. So if I run this, it seems you want string 2, so this both of them is got added over here. So not added, it just got concatenated into a new string. Now this is something that you need to remember. Whenever I have two strings, one plus, it will concatenate. Now let's use the modulo operator. So modulo is basically when we divide and whatever we get the remainder. For example, 9 mod 3. So here this will be given, when I do 9 mod 3, the remainder will get assigned to moduli 0, because this is totally divisible, right? So the remainder is 0. But if I do something like something which is not a multiple of 3, then here I should get some remainder. Yeah, the remainder is 1. Now compare is now. Okay, so these let's make them these are arithmetic operators. Now we're going to do comparison operators. In the comparison, so suppose I need to compare two variables where I think this is already used, right? Just let's have all this thing now. Let's cut this. No comparison, so this one I do where a equal to some is 10 and b is 20. Then I say where c is a greater than b, and then I do c is a less than b, and I do c is greater than equal to 3. Oh yeah, the equal to most equal spaces inside cannot convert full to int, so let's forget this. Yeah, so comparison operators, the answer will be a bool value. It will be boolean. Okay. Now if I want to greater than or equal to, so let's do is c. I don't assign anything, just do c greater than equal to 3. Cannot convert value of type bool, expected argument type int. Oh yeah, so your c is already going to get booled, right? Just let's comment this thing. And you have where c. Not prefix. Just let's do where c is something like, let's see is a number. Also the thing is I'm not able to compare anything with c. Just don't redeclare it again. Okay, so yeah, c is basically 10. So 10 is greater than or equal to 3, that's true. If you want to check for equality, you can't use because it already has a meaning. It is used to give on the. Okay, now he's saying that's equal to cannot be used for equality. So then we use double to equals to check. So if I check a equals b, right, false because a is 10, b is 20. So then that will show true. Now one thing that you might catch out is that Swift strings are case sensitive, so he's talking about string. So let's do something with string. String 1 is suppose j and string 2 is suppose, let me do compare both of them. They shouldn't work. They should give me false, right? Because they are not same. Yeah, strings are case sensitive here. Strings case sensitive. Now then, where there is something called as not. So this basically will do. This will basically convert. If it's a true, it will make it a false. If it's a false, it will make it a true. Then yes, let's use this where stay out if I do not, okay, let's just stay out. No, not giving me what I want, right? Stay out too late. So if I click on play, yeah, so this is true and becomes false. Now string interpolation. Now this is a fancy name which is simply means combining variables. And what do you mean by interpolation? Let's open incognito. This, let's go to open. What's the literal meaning of interpolation? Interpolation, no English meaning. Interpolation is process of inserting something into a space or a sequence that wasn't originally present. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a variable into a string. So now let's see interpolation. Interpolation means to insert something. So I'm going to insert a variable in a string. Let's delete. Now suppose if I have a variable where name equal to the string. Have I used named anywhere? No. Then I'm going to insert this into that string. So your name is to a backslash and this is name. So now it's invalid redeclaration of name. So I use name. So yeah. So instead of declaring it here, just let's use it. Yeah, your name is time. Let's change your time to as 0. And now doesn't be your name is 0. Perfect. Now the results played will show my Mr. Mingra as one string. Now we could have done with string concatenation as well, right? But what does string concatenation do? Now this is not efficient if you're combining multiple variables. Okay, so for example, what we have multiple variable to be inserted. So we have to keep on writing everything, right? However, this in one line does that. Okay. Also, there is some restrictions, right? When you have integers, a string will not let you add string with integers. So it's much better to use this. Now then we come to arrays. So arrays let you group lots of values together into a single collection, then access those values by their position in the collections. Okay, so now we are going to what is arrays. We are going to let you group. So arrays let you group multiple values together. Okay, and then they can be accessed by their position. So let's see. If I say where even numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3. Just run this. So this area contains one such from 1 to access and even numbers. So they are 0 indexed, I believe. Yeah, so arrays are 0 index, starting is 0, 1, 2. So it will be 0, then 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now what if I try to do? It shouldn't give me array out of bounds or something like that. It shouldn't give me an error saying what was error execution. So basically it is trying to find that thing in the memory and it is not able to find that. So when I do also, let's check the error here. The play of let's play it again. Let's see. Why are we not able to? Let's say the execution was interrupted. Reason is right. See the error. Okay, error. Execution was interrupted. Reason exe breakpoint. The process has been left at the point where it was interrupted. Use thread return x to return. So I'm saying it does not tell me that it is area out of bounds. It will just the program will give an exception, I guess, because it says execution was interrupted. So I guess an exception is generated here. Okay, now because you have created an array by giving it strings if not. So again, now we have already mentioned that this is an integer, right? So this will be an array of integer. What if we want to do something like okay, so now there is something called as type. The type of returns the dynamic type of a value. So let's do what this. Suppose if I do even numbers, yeah, this will be an big what? Oh, so let's So this is an array. This is like what do you call string annotation? Oh, sorry, array annotation, where we are mentioning that this array is a this of integer because it is initialized here. Similarly, what if no? What if I try to add a string here? No, this gives me an error, right? String can't handle multiple data type arrays. Heterogeneous collections. So your arrays is basically a homogeneous collection of it can be it is a homogeneous collection of different it's a basically a homogeneous collection that is a single data type, not a heterogeneous. Heterogeneous is where you have multiple, right? Okay, now what if we are okay, now there's a because you can't handle. So what we do is basically we can just type on addition to specify what type of data. So this can be also run. This is an array of int. Oh, okay, I when I press I it should give me int there's no subscriptions. Let's go here. Oh, it should be in brackets, right? Because this is an so this is array. And now I say so and now see at compile time I'm getting this error. So remember strings can be sorry, numbers can be converted to a string. This is something called as explicit conversions that happens. And I can do this conversion. Again, cannot convert value of type string, so it will give an error over here as well. So it does not do explicit type conversions. So be bad. Now creating arrays again, as I said, string, and then this is basically we are defining the entire array over here. So we can do it this way as well, right? We say where like song, and then I say this is an array of string, and then instead of initializing it, since I am not initializing, so I have to mention which type it is, and then now I can come here 0, and then I can put variable passed by reference. This is something variable, like, let's see what the error is. Variable songs passed by reference before being initialized. This reason is that will seem needlessly pedantic at first, but this has a deep underlying performance effort. You just put simply in writing where songs. Also, there is okay. So like how in primitives we can do that assignment. I guess for strings, so array is passed by reference. Let's see. Insert. Now why they are passed by references? Because it's a mutable array, right? We are doing assigning it using where. If same thing using let wouldn't have been possible. Okay, so now there is some, if we perform some type of mutation, then it will be passed by reference. So that's what it's saying over here. There is some things. Okay, so now why are we saying that it's been and passed by reference although it is not an object? So what it's saying is array are value types. Okay, that means they are stored in the stack, not in the heap. If arrays are value types, they are copied when they are passed to the functions or other variables. However, Swift uses there's something called as copy on write optimization, which means that array won't be copied until it is modified. So when you pass an array to a function, it behaves like a reference only if the array is he has given a. So now this array is basically not the original array, but its copy that is being passed over here. Now here the new array is getting modified. The original is still going to remain the same. There's something which is unnecessary copying. What is trying to say that it is unnecessary copying? Why it's not? Why is this isn't doing this? Let's first now see this optimization thing, because this is going to come again and again. I feel. I have to pass by reference. So he's saying by arrays are value types. In Swift, arrays are value types, which means that they are copied when they are passed to the functions or assigned to other variables. However, Swift uses a feature called copy on write optimization. This means that the array won't be copied until it is modified. So when you pass an array to a function, it behaves like a reference, but only if okay. In Swift, arrays are value types. Now, arrays are value types in Swift. Arrays are value types when they are copied when they are passed. So if I'm not doing any location, then it is not copying. Okay, so there are value types. Now value types are something which are value types are stored on stack, right? So whenever we have something stored on the stack and we try to mutate it, a copy is created. So when I do on stack, copies are generated. Why are we not? The original one. More prone to bugs. It looks like when you do this this thing that there was a that it looks like it's been overridden, but actually it is not overridden. Something else happens here. You remember this? Where b equal to 10, b plus equal to 10. These are also now here that is going to directly, so here it is like overriding it, but what if you do something like where and then I do maybe you will find something is different, right? Here I do, so before what I do is I increment overriding by setting But see, B won't be affected at all here. See, once I do this, for the time being, just let's comment this out. It's just something, yeah. So B is 20. Now again, overriding is also 20. Now when I add 10 to 20, it becomes 30, but B is still the same. So this is again that copy on right. So the copy on right optimization is related to mutation. Like whenever we do a mutation, new copy is generated. Like what's the advantage? First is unindented changes are avoided. In terms of memory management, don't waste memory. Performance overhead is less. Also, what I'm saying here is copies are created when there is mutation. Else no copies. And you try to mutate, then but if you're but if I do if I try to modify locally, local modification does not result in copies. And this is a fixed sized array, right? So then the better way to do this is here there is no memory allocation. What when we do We'll have to check if the memory spaces. There's one more condition to check for copy and write. Memory is shared. If no memory is shared, then it kinds of it does like overwriting something. The two conditions have to be met here. One is shared memory, another is mutation. So if I have yeah, for that copy and write optimization to click in, there are two conditions need to be met. Okay, so then now what we should do here is we should give it assign it an empty array. But there is another method to do this. So what we do is select where songs to array of not do type annotation. Then you don't do type annotation here. You just do and then call the constructor. What is this constructor? We will study later on. Now array operators. Now you can use a limited set of operations on array. For example, you can merge two arrays by using plus operators. So then okay. Then let's do operations on arrays. This is mutation. Then not mutation, basically addition. Or you can add two arrays, combine two arrays. Yeah, that's all for this lecture, and then we'll be continuing on with dictionaries. That's all for today. Thanks. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.